look in mine. I promise to be all that you need. I won't leave you, baby, no, cause I just wanna love you. I would never ever put nobody up above you. I just wanna kiss you, baby, I just wanna hug you till the end, baby, till the end. Cause I'm right here, ain't nobody gotta hold you. Cause I'm right here, ain't nobody gonna control you. Cause I'm right here.
Found a superwoman that could leap from the truck in a single bound. Mommy, I'm trying to blame you down. Send without shades on, can't stare when I bring you round. She put her lips on the and pull it to work her tongue and make me faster than a speeding bullet. Her love stronger than a locomotive, but only for the FABOLOUS. Sing to me, ma.
For my checks. What up?
of music take you on a trip. This kind of music make you wanna wind up your hips. This kind of music make you feel that right now. Wishing playing got you pulling punches to the side now. Let your body talk, give me dialogue, going back and forth for the rest of the night. Hold on, now one life is priceless, yeah. So I go, I live my life like it's gold. You want it 'cause I'm about me low. Why not, baby girl, I want to know. I'm on many things I want to know. I don't want to let your body feel alone. I gotta give your body all you want. Maybe no stay too long. Baby, by your phone, I can run when I'm gone. Imagine if it wasn't you. Love it when you're grabbing like it's baby, yo. Feel it, baby, catching me, yeah. This is what you want. I know that you're bad for me. I'll be there for you. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and there's a house to say no.
Right, let's get into this. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? You get a little 111 in the chat. Oh, you know about those songs? Come on, man. Come on, bro. Nah, you gotta like the old school R&B bangers, man. That's it, bro. That's it, man. So let's get straight into this whilst the latecomers start pouring in. We ain't gonna waste any time. Right, yes, let's get straight into this. So, first thing I want to do today is have a little recap on price action from obviously the last time we spoke, which was on Tuesday, because obviously we did mention about some buys on Nasdaq on Tuesday's stream, and then I think maybe about an hour after we ended the stream ish, it then provided a nice little entry, which for like a small intraday perspective, gave a 1 to 12 and a 1 to 5. And I mean, if, for example, you was on a CFD and you was up for Asia, you could have had like a 1 to 8 or potentially a 1 to 20, depending on, again, like the firms and the accounts and shit you're using. But let's do a little recap on pretty much what happened, and then we'll sort of get into the economics. And of course, if anyone has any questions, you're more than welcome to ping them in the chats. So how often do I enter off the 80? It literally just depends on the risk reward, bro. Like if I can get a minimum 1 to 5, bro, like I'll just go for the 1 to 5 off the 50. I'm not too bothered. Unless it's like, for example, let's say the 50 entry is like a 1 to 3. I'm not gonna take that because it's not a 1 to 5, for day trading. But the only other time I'll only take the 80% is if, like, let's say it's a 1 to 5 at the 50. And then the 80 is like a 1 to 20 or something like monstrously better, if that makes sense. But I would say, bro, most of the times I'll just be setting limits off to 50%, to be honest with you, bro, or market execute. No, I don't offset anymore, to be honest with you, bro. I either just do the 50 or just the 80, one or the other. And it really just comes down to like, how am I going to make my decision? Firstly, comes down to the risk to reward. Like again, if the 50 is a 1 to 5 to my first target, I'm good for that. If like the 50 is like a 1 to 3 to the target, I'm not going to take it at all. I'll just go for the 80 if it's because in that case I can only go for the 80, you know. So also, let's do a little breakdown and we'll have a little recap on it. So on Tuesday we was pretty much sitting here, right? We had inflation data come out, and of course, you do the 50%. Wait, do you do the 50% to increase the? Yeah. So like, well, let's talk about it. So we'll go into the breakdown. But how do you decide where to set your limit, right? Off the 50 or the prettier, right? So for me, the first thing just comes to risk to reward, right? And I guess it also does come down to the personal preference of the trader as well. Because like if you're just setting, so you got to know the pros and cons. So like for me, I'm happy just sometimes setting a limit just off the 50 if I can get a 1 to 5 to my target, right? Now, I don't really offset anymore. Offset being where you split your risk. So let's say this is $100 risk. Offset being where you split it into 50 and 50 and do one entry like that, and then one entry, oops, and then one entry sort of like that, right? Now, for me, I only really do that if it's really worth it. And it's these days, it's not really worth it anymore because, like, let's say the first risk rewards are 1 to 4, right? And then the second one's a 1 to 8, let's just say, right? I'm only risking half. So if I risk, 50 on the 1 to 4, I'm going to make 200. And I risk 50 on the 1 to 8, I'm going to make, quick maths, 400. And then let's say that this one stops me out, I'm only going to make 350 on that trade. Versus if I can just get, like, for example, maybe just a 1 to 4 off. I mean, I'm not going to take a 1 to 4, but like if I can just get a 1 to 4 full risk off the 50, right? Let's say again, 1 to 4, I'm risking $100. That's now $400 profit. $400 profit. So that would then mean that it's not even, oh yeah, I caught a 1 to 4. Oh, I caught a 1 to 8. Well, technically the 1 to 4 made you more money because you was able to risk a little bit more. Now, obviously, you might start thinking, well, yeah, why don't we just go for 1 to 2s and risk 5%? No, like that's silly. But for me, I don't really offset anymore unless like it's mathematically worth it and I start calculating it. So like let's say, so when I say mathematically, let's say the 50 is a 1 to 4, right? 1 to 4, we risk $100. We know that's a $400 profit trade. If I offset the 50 and now let's just say the 50 becomes a 1 to 10, and now I risk $50 because I have to half it and take 2 entries when you offset, right? Because you're taking 2 entries. Now, well, I'd make $500 off the 50. Now that's worth me doing it. And if I obviously do the 80 and now the 80s, I don't know, let's just say the 80s like a 1 to fucking 20 or some shit, right? And I only risk 50 on that. Well, now that's worth it because I'm probably going to make around $1,000 on that. And now it's worth offsetting because I can either make 500 or $1,000 compared to just doing one at 400. But like that is trade by trade basis. You can't just make a rule and so on. Like you have to check the actual trade and see what the target is, and see what the risk reward is on that one. But like ultimately, if you decide, like let's say you want to, excuse me, all right, or let's say that's your reaccumulation, right? Oh god. All right, let's just pretend that's our reaccum, right? For me, like playing limits off the 50, it will get filled way more times than not because you're not as precise compared to obviously the 80%. A lot of time it might bounce off the 50, might bounce off here. So obviously with the 50, just taking a limit off there, you're going to get filled on way more trades. But obviously your overall risk to reward might not be as high. So it really just comes down to it. I would say like also check your journal and like look at your trades. So like let's say look at your let's say you take 20 trades and you set them all off to 50. Go and look at them and think, all right, well, if I were to place only limits on the 80 during that set of 20 trades, how many trades would have missed? How many trades would have filled? Maybe out of 20 trades, again, you have to check your data, but maybe only 12 of them would have filled and 8 of them would have missed because they didn't come to the 80. All right, well, out of those ones that hit, how much more percent would you have made if you took those trades compared to the 50, if the risk reward's bigger? And then you can obviously make a decision for your next sample size to say, am I only going to do 80 or 50? But for me, like 9 times out of 10, I really just set a limit off the 50. Stop below the low, just to keep it simple, unless like the 80 risk reward is like monstrously bigger. Then in that case, I'll just do the 80. I thought it was 1 to 10. Well, no, that's if you're swing trading. You're not going to get 1 to 10s on a day trading every single day, unless you're taking like 1 second entries. Well, I mean, it's not about currencies or indices. It's literally just about what are you doing? Are you scalping or are you day trading? Because obviously, when you're like, well, scalping, day trading, same thing. Are you swing trading or day trading? Because if you're day trading, like like if we just look on the Nasdaq chart, right? We're only really going for that. We're only going for that. We're not going for fucking 1,000 pips. So it's harder to get bigger risk rewards. So if I'm day trading, I'm in and out, same session, I'm taking profit before market close. Yeah, I'll take 1 to 5s. Swing trading, holding shit overnight. Yeah, it's got to be a 1 to 10 at least. Right. So yeah, let's get into the entry. So in terms of where we was on Tuesday, so we was pretty much here, right? And obviously the inflation data came out. Now we spoke about it, and obviously with inflation data, the only reason that we saw inflation numbers and the report come lower, and it was the same thing with PPI, is because of the energy prices, right? Now, one thing you do have to understand is that when it comes to energy and inflation, it is always delayed, right? The report is always delayed. And we are starting to see oil, start to rally again. And we're probably going to see some sort of, but if this accumulation maintains and it's boofed, and we start seeing this rally, energy prices can start spiking, then we might see more, some probably Iran bullshit come out again. But we could see inflation to start spike again. So obviously we did mention on Tuesday that in terms of like our bias, like long term on the dollar, the bullish narrative still maintains. But we mentioned on a short term, if this inflation is going to sort of cool off a little bit, right, we could catalyze the pullback to play out on lower buys and lower buys. In terms of indices, we mentioned the indices were still bullish. We wasn't considering shorting them. Earnings reports were still pretty strong. And obviously we was on the Nasdaq. We was somewhere. Where was we on Tuesday? We was somewhere here, right? So obviously you guys remember, we came into some demand, right? We accumulated out of it, and then obviously the news came out and gave us that boost. So we mentioned what we want to see. The market comes into the session. We want to see that sell off at the start of the session, and then try to play either an accumulation out of here or a reaccumulation. And we mentioned we wanted to trade Nasdaq because it was lagging compared to obviously all the other markets. And then we came into the blue box. We started having a sell off into the open. All right. Market starts selling off. And again, we can see we're still in a bearish market cycle, not in demand, not our 50, distributing, redistributing, and we're just waiting for it to come down to demand, right? So she then starts to come into demand. Wait for it. And then we started to have a small accumulation, right? Now, nothing crazy, type 3 head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, nothing I'm going to trade. And then what I wanted to really see is if we was going to see any strength from this. Right? I mean, we started to, there we go. We then started to boof. We invalidated supply. So there's a few ways you could look at this, like redistro, cum, into a boof, or into a long drawn out accumulation. For me, how I saw it was like this was like minus supply, this was sort of my cum, and this was like my last point of supply in here, slash a reaccumulation. So all I pretty much did was just fib this up and then just play an entry off it. Pretty simple. Right, we had the fake move at session open, accumulation, reaccum, boof. And that was all she wrote. Comes into the 50. She does come off the 80 as well. So you could have played an entry off the 80 if you wanted to. This across. And yeah, that was pretty much it. And then from there, she started to accumulate, started to rally, and then started to go towards those targets. And that was pretty much it. Obviously, depending on if you're like, day trading or depending if you're swing trading. Obviously that's going to make a difference. If you're day trading, you're just going to be pretty much getting in and out, in the session. Obviously most like day trading prop firms, you have to close the trade before market close. So even if she comes up to these highs, basically sitting at a 1 to 5, you can close the whole trade out if you wanted to. Or again, if you're on CFDs, you can just wait for it to come up and hit your next targets. Again, depending on. Um, yeah, Model 2, I would say. I remember you saying last call taking 1 to 5. So no, I didn't say taking partials isn't worth it. I said you're not going to take a lot of partials. Like, because if you're, like realistically, if you're day trading, you're taking one partial profit and then one full close max. I'm not going to be day trading and close 25 and then 25 and then 25 and then 25 and 25 when I'm up a one, like, and I'm only going for a 1 to 5, you know? So it's up to you. You can either just have one main target, close the whole fucking thing, or just take one target, like close half of it and then close another half later on. But yeah, like you definitely don't want to be yeah, I'm not going to be taking a shit ton of partials because let's say I'm at a 1 to 1. If I take any volume off the table, I won't be able to make any money on it. Obviously, when you start, like when it comes to taking more partials, like maybe 2, 3, or 4 partials on a trade, that's when you sort of go into like swing trading and higher risk rewards. Obviously, if you're going for like 1 to 10s, then of course you can take more partials. But when you're going for like 1 to 5s, it's not really good to take a lot of partials. I'd like some feedback on whether closing, because I could see it start to slow down and move sideways. I check RSI. RSI overbought. When have I ever taught you to use the overbought on RSI? I don't know where you learned that from, bro. Um, well, I mean, the first question is, are you day trading or are you swing trading? Right? I mean, fuck the RSI. Are you a day trader or a swing trader? Well, if you're day trading, you're going to be out by the whole, you're going to be out by market close, right? So pay yourself. If it's getting near power hour and you're coming near your target and you're a day trading, it's distributing, just close the whole trade. Because if you're day trading, the whole premise of day trading is you're taking a trade for like 1 day max. You're not holding it overnight. So yeah, just pay yourself. Like 9 times out of 10, you're never going to regret taking profit. And the only time you'll regret taking profit on a trade is if it fucking moons after. And the only time you would regret that is if you're not grateful. Like a lot of times people be like, oh, I don't want to close because, fear of missing out. But close a trade, and then let's say it does rally, remind yourself, okay, I closed a trade, it rallied, could have made a 1 to 50. What if it didn't? What if I close a trade and it reversed against me? Would I be happy with that decision? Yes. But you also want to decide before taking the trade when you're going to get out as well and what conditions you need to see to get out. You don't want to be the guy wait until like you don't want to be in a trade asking yourself, should I take profit or not? You have to decide that before you take the trade. Either say, look, I'm closing this trade at this time of day, no matter where we are, or I'm closing it when we get at or near this level. I'm not like super anal with a target, like in terms of like, let's say that's my target, and if I'm like hovering here, if I'm on the chart and I see it starting to distribute, especially near power hour, I'll just take profit here. I'm not like gonna cry about that, especially if I'm free. But the biggest key is to decide before. Well, I mean, if you're day trading, bro, and you're coming near your target and you're coming near the end of the trading session, close the whole thing. Sure, close the whole thing. Or if you're holding overnight and swinging, break even your trade, and then reduce risk, break even, and then let it run. again, you got to make that decision. If you're day trading, like for example, firms like Top Step, you have to close it at, couldn't tell you the UK time. You have to close it at basically market close. So like I think Top Step auto close your trades around like 9 p.m. UK time. I think. Don't quote me on it. I don't live in the UK. But I know it's like an hour before market close, roughly. Top Step manually have to close all your trades. 9 UK time? Yeah, 9 UK time. Yeah, taking profit is always a good decision. Oh, again, just make a decision. Am I holding trades overnight or not? Okay, if not, so what's now my exit criteria? What time am I going to close my trades? Maybe your trading platform has to close them at 9 or 9:45 or 9:05 or whatever. Then if it's that time and you need your targets, close out. When you're trading currencies, it doesn't really matter if I'm trading currencies or not. You're going to apply the same entry criteria and everything, bro. Doesn't matter what you trade. Like the market doesn't know the difference between dollar, NQ, crypto. It's all the same shit. If I literally just did this the entire stream, did this and hid the price bar, you would have no idea what market I'm trading. You had no idea. If I open Bitcoin, if I open fucking cocoa beans, if I open fucking euro, like y'all would have no idea because it's all the same. It's all the exact same thing. It's all the same supply and demand. So, yeah. But to answer your question specifically, I mean, like if you're trading dollar and EUGU, the main thing is, I mean, ideally, yeah, you want the dollar to confirm it. But if I decide if I'm going to trade from EU and GU, like if I want to short EU and GU, I need to see dollar show strength. Importantly, so like let's say EU GU, all right, distributing. Who's my lagger? Who's my leader? So if let's say euros leading, pounds lagging, I'm going to short pound. But as I go to short pound, I want to make sure that the dollar is showing strength. So yeah, I mean that was pretty much simple on the NAS. I mean since then, I didn't trade yesterday. Yeah, I mean what have we pretty much done since then? Not a whole lot. We'll kind of have a recap on Nasdaq in a minute. Obviously PPI inflation came out. It did soften, and again that's mainly just because the oil price is coming a little bit lower. So in terms of like what we want to do with economics, is the same thing. We just want to kind of see what the Fed's going to really do, right? Because ultimately, if the Fed do start raising rates, yeah, that's going to cause a big problem, especially for the dollar, it's going to start rallying. But we don't really have the Fed rate decision until like end of the month anyway. As of now, realistically, I think they're just going to be holding rates steady. There's no chance they're cutting rates yet. I think it's too early for them to raise rates, so they're just going to pretty much echo the same thing, following the data and obviously going into inflation next month. And it's just really our job to kind of follow the market cycles and really assess the trends. Like in terms of the dollar, like my bias doesn't really change. And from a higher time frame perspective, we are still in a bullish market cycle. We're just in premium. And the same question remains, right? Is this going to be this, is this going to be a reaccum, or are we going to come down to demand? And we're going to get that answer pretty soon, because obviously if I mean this could be an accumulation, right? Obviously, if the market starts to distribute, let's say in here, I mean I'm not going to play any reversals, all continuations, but like if the market starts distributed and then redistributing, that's the only thing I'd consider. Then obviously we could buy EU and GU up. Obviously, and then sell the dollar down to here at the very least. Obviously, if the market does come in, and again, I'm not going to play any accumulations on euro. I'm not playing any distributions, because if this thing distributes and reaccumulates, that's going to cause EU and GU to absolutely melt. So I want to see sellers try to come in, and then I want to let the market show me who's going to win. Because if it distributes and then redistributes, well, there's no fucking buyers in this market. We're going to be coming down here, going to be coming down here at that point. But if we come in, right, we distribute and then we break that distro, well, at that point, yeah, I'm going to be short in EU and GU. And walking this thing all the way up to those highs at the very least. So we're going to pretty much get an answer, hopefully in today's session on this. I mean, technically, it is in a bearish market cycle still, and we do have room to come lower. So, if we look at EU and GU, technically it is pretty much the same thing. They are still in a bullish market cycle. I mean, there's not really too much to do off this, to be honest with you, as of today. I'm not really the biggest fan on currencies. To be honest, today, it all really depends what the dollar does. We'll keep an eye on what the dollar does. Like I mentioned, if the dollar comes up into here, distributes, and then reaccumulates, then yeah, we'll start shorting EU and GU off some redistros. But until we get an answer on the dollar, I'm not really going to do anything with it. So I mean, for now on this, I'm just pretty much just sitting on my hands. Gold confirmed distro. Look at it. Gold confirmed distro. Gold. I mean, it's still in a bearish market cycle. Come into the 50. Distro? I don't know what distro you're talking about. Redistro? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a redistro. So, see what she does. You can sort of come up into it. We see what silver's looking like. Oh yeah, silver's just fucking shit in itself. So obviously, if silver's gonna have to maintain weakness, right? If silver starts doing this and boofing, yeah, not a good idea. But if silver keeps shitting itself and melting to the downside, we can definitely try and play gold. Either out of this bigger 50 and 80 or out of this smaller one. I'm into the blue box. It looks like it's really trying to mitigate. Oh, I think it's really going. You lose much more on selling than buying. You have to show me the trades, bro. It's like it's really hard just to put that like as a generic answer. You have to show me the trades, man. You recommend using personal or prop for swing trading since futures market? You can swing the futures market. You just can't swing the futures market on prop firms. So I mean, if you've got enough money, personal account all day long, 100%. If not, you can use funded to help grow. I mean, I've got a love-hate relationship with funded, man. Like fundeds are good in terms of like there's no risk on because like you're only risking what the challenge fee. So like you can technically be a little bit more aggressive on them. Technically, you can trade news events on them. You can risk more on them technically if you want. But the problem for me with funded is that like people just are not profitable and they're just obsessed with funded accounts. Like, they literally have no track record. They'll win trades for 2 weeks. And when I say be more aggressive, like I just mean like risk more once you know your stats and your data. But like for 90% of you, you should trade a funded account the same way you do as a normal account. Like you shouldn't be trying to pass the challenge. You should just trade normally, and then passing the challenge and getting like profits and payouts is normal. That makes sense. But my problem with funded is again people have no profitability and they just want to get obsessed with funded accounts and they'll end up fucking going through 20, 30, 40 challenges instead of fucking getting education or fucking putting in a demo account and building a track record. Yeah, like if the second you're in a rush to pass a funded, the second you're trying to pass a funded, the second you fucked yourself up. Like that is the business model, like oh my God, they prey on new traders. Oh my God, I can trade 100K, 200K, $1 million of funding. I can make 20K this month, 50K this month. And then, they come in, they buy a challenge with no experience and end up just blowing it. Like literally less than 5% of people who attempt to challenge even pass it. And out of the people who pass the challenge, so imagine like you've got 100,000, you got 100 people. Only 5 people will pass the challenge, right? And out of the 5 people who pass the challenge, less than, well, obviously this statistic is going to be hard to fucking do with 100 people, but literally less than 0.5% of people will even get a payout. So if you've got, let's say, 100,000 people, right? 5,000 people will pass the challenge. Out of the 5,000 people that pass the challenge, maybe 50 to 500 max will even get a payout. And most people can only like, and that's the thing, like even getting one payout, that doesn't take any skill either. Anyone can fucking have a lucky streak for 20 trades, and then the problem is people get the payout and they fucking spend it more on funded challenges. It's literally like a casino. Yeah, bro. Someone spent 7K on funded. That's it, bro. People just it's not that they're dumb. People just don't think, they just get overly like excited. It's their emotions take over. So to answer the question, do I recommend personal or props? I recommend none of it. I recommend being profitable first. Like once you're profitable, bro, it doesn't fucking matter. A lot of people be asking these questions. Oh my god, do I do funded? Do I do this, bro? Be profitable. It doesn't fucking matter what you do. Like if you're not profitable, it doesn't fucking, you shouldn't be thinking about any of that. If you can't place 500 trades, and out of 500 trades your account is growing consistently, you're not ready to do anything. Again, some people they're just rushing, unfortunately. Scanner bootcamp hopefully before next weekend, or by this weekend, hopefully. News just come out or something? Thursday. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on Goldilocks. I would rather not sell out of this. I'd rather sell out higher because this can easily be an accumulation. There's all that volume in there. Oh, you like the vlog? I appreciate it, bro. I'm gonna be very cautious trying to short gold from there. I'd rather silver come up a bit higher. Do something like that. In the shower. You like that bit? I don't know if anyone saw the Easter egg in it about the Indian guy. That was very funny. Mac TV. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, he's a cool guy, bro. He's a cool guy. I haven't been to his bar yet. But yeah. So in terms of gold, I want to be very cautious. Like if silver shows weakness, starts leading whilst we get a little signal in here, maybe. But I'd like this could easily be an accumulation. Do something like that a little bit later. We'll keep an eye on what silver does as well. Right, I'll keep an eye on this. Come back into this in a minute. Right, let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Fucking hell, Bitcoin rocketed since we last spoke. I mean, I'm still bearish on Bitcoin long term. Right. This is definitely looking like a distro at this point. Drive 2, drive 3, drive. Maybe this is our UTAD on Bitcoin. If this thing doesn't want to walk itself up to here, I would absolutely cream if Bitcoin come up to like 70K, 80K again. Because that is the ultimate shakeout. I'm already seeing people on social media, oh my God, the dip, you should have bought the dip, you should have bought the dip, you should have bought the dip. No, sell the bounce, sell the bounce. So the question is, are we going to distribute from here and continue to show weakness and confirm that? If so, we can short it down. Or are we going to have a little pop-up up here before we short it down? The short, definitely sounds shorts. Okay, let's see what ETH is doing. So ETH has got a bit of room to wiggle up, actually. So if ETH has got some room to wiggle up, do that, that could also drag Bitcoin up a little bit higher as well. So I mean, this is not ready to come down yet. It's still technically in a bullish market cycle. So if ETH, so we're still bullish from here, right? Obviously, breaking this confirms sellers. If as ETH is still rallying pretty aggressively, if ETH wants to keep reacting and keep reaccumulating, we can try and follow Bitcoin up as a lagger, assuming ETH keeps showing strength. So if Bitcoin does come down into here and accumulate, and ETH starts rallying, I'll buy Bitcoin up to here, maybe to those highs. Your plan says to risk 0.15% per trade. You're not sure how to do that when you're trading futures. For example, if I take a trade with 3 contracts, I'm below my risk. But if I increase it to 4 contracts, I'm above it. You're trading on too little money and you're trading on 2 big contracts. So you either have to trade the mini contracts or the micro contracts. So like you have, like for example, you have like NQ, you have MNQ, right? Or you have like British pound futures, you have like mini British pound futures, and you have micro British pound futures. You have to use the mini or micro contracts, or you have to increase your risk per trade, or just round down. You're never going to go wrong rounding down with your risk. You never regret risking less. You always regret risking more. You never regret wrapping up. You always regret the time you don't wrap up. You know what I mean? Good, man. I'm all good, brother. How are you, man? What's your view on Kevin Walsh? He's a dickhead. No, bro. All the Fed, all these fucking politicians are puppets, bro. Like they're really all just puppets. So I'm not too concerned about him himself. For me, I just focus on the numbers and really focus on facts. I'm not gonna get caught up with this politics, tricks. I'm not getting caught up with all these games they're trying to play. Like the mass media, like I ain't got no time to watch all that shit. For me, I just care about like what do I care about? I care about the Fed's monetary policy, their decision-making process, and the things that influence their decision-making process. So it's not so much what's my view on him. I don't give a fuck who it is. I mean, my thing is, what data is the Fed does it have right now? Inflation heated up slightly, but nothing crazy. Inflation's not at their target, but inflation's not going out of control. So what does that mean? The rates will stay higher for longer. Rates are not coming down. So at this point in time, it doesn't really matter. It's not really going to change how the Fed does things, because if he changed how the Fed does things, he's going to change the whole financial system. And if he's going to change the whole financial system, you got more shit to worry about than trading. But again, fear mongering, bro. Like, there's a lot of shit on the news and media that's designed to sort of like make you worried, make you scared, and confuse you. Just focus on the same shit, bro. You ain't got to worry about that specifically. I mean, obviously, he's more hawkish for the dollar. He's a little bit more bullish. He's more for rate hikes than rate cuts. But again, like that bias shouldn't. I mean, it can show up in the Fed, but the most important thing is the data. That makes sense. You're trading the minis, so better to do, yeah, bro. So even like, I mean, 0.15 is a bit of an awkward risk. Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward risk, bro. 0.15. But yeah, it's better to always round down. It's always better to round down and risk a little bit less and a little bit more. Or just up your risk a little bit. Because I mean, like yeah, it's up your risk a little bit. Yeah. 0.25 would be all right. Again, it all comes down to like yourself, because if 0.15%, it doesn't really matter what I say, it's all about your performance. So like let's say you lose 4 trades on 0.25%, you're down 1%. How does that influence your psychology? How does that influence your decision making going forward? For you, maybe 0.15 might be different. That might be a bit more like manageable for you in the gut. So it doesn't really matter in terms of how much you risk. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's why you start with low risk. So if the main problem is just physically with the risk, like your psychology's cool with it, it's just like the actual numbers, just round down, bro. Or increase the capital you're trading on. I guess the next question is how much are you trading on? If it's like 50K, then yeah, you're fucking way too small. 100K, yeah, it's not bad. So in that case, either refine your entries a little bit more or just round a little bit down. Nothing wrong with that. Like it's better to risk. Like I'd rather lose less than lose more. Like you always forget the time you don't wrap up. You always regret that one. You never regret the ones you do. Always protect yourself, boys and girls. Right, let's go back to gold. What was gold doing? She reacting? Maybe at my 50 though. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, there's nothing I'm gonna do. It's not my 50. Maybe she trickles down a little bit. NYSC comes up, sweeps this liquidity, then drops us down. And maybe NYSC could sweep some of this liquidity on silver as well. And gold just reacts and goes. There's nothing to it at this point. Look at indices. Comes to the moment. Let's have a look. NQ, come back to you. What are they doing? This is there's no strength in this, man. This is just disgusting, bro. Like, what the fuck is this? There's got volume in there, but it is just slow, bro. This is really slow. Yes. Let's clear some of this. So we confirm the reaccum. So the question is, are we going to sweep these lows, play a buy, or are we going to maintain that? Are we going to maintain yesterday's New York? Yeah, it's pretty much ES looks bullish. I'm not too concerned about any of this highs or lows on NQ. If anything, probably sweep these out and then let it go into a reaccum. Try to walk it up based on ES and YM is still showing bullishness. There's just not a lot of strength on YM. I mean, follow the market cycle until it says no. YM is at all. Yeah, if ES can show any signs of buyers, maybe sweep yesterday's New York, or even just maintain yesterday's New York is also a possibility, and then just play reaccums up. I mean, pretty simple. Yeah, I mean this low doesn't have much weight. It can respect, it can break. I'm not bothered. It's not going to change my narrative. So yeah, I definitely want to buy ES and NQ and try and walk NQ up if we can get a little bit more strength. I'm going to be cautious on these. We could get a much bigger sell-off. Yes, it's so close to those all-time highs. It'd be nice to get a new all-time high. What did we mention about that monthly candle? How's that monthly candle looking at? Yeah, so yeah, we had the sell-off at the start of the month. We had the open, the fake move at the start of the month. Now potentially going to get that continuation if it's bullish. It's slowing down. It's chopping now. That's why I'm going to be a little bit cautious. Very slow on the way up. Not good. But follow the market cycle until it says no. I'm not in the business of predicting. I'm just in the business of following my model. and I can see a reaccum. It comes into the reaccum, which is potentially in now. If it reaccumes, I'm going to buy it. Simple as that. I'm not going to overthink it. And if it does that, yeah, no problem. I'll go do it 5,000 more times, then I'll look at my results. But yeah, keep an eye on it. Going to be cautious. They're going to sell off. I'm not a fan of playing shorts on these today. Not going to short. Not worth for me trying to short. A lot of liquidity up here on the Nasdaq, man. These should be some beautiful targets. Session disconnected. Mac. He's over there. Anyway. Yeah, I do want to try and walk these up again, but if we get anything, we'll see what the open brings. Maybe the open brings in that sell-off, volume, and then we can try and play it up. If that happens, I'm definitely game for him. Currencies, I mean, maybe we'll see how Euro wants to start reacting in dollar. Again, just having a little recap on these. Again, I'm going to be very cautious that this could be the spring. Like I mentioned, keeping a strong eye on this today. Because we're probably going to get an answer during New York. Wait for the distro. Don't fucking do anything. Wait for the distro. And then if the distro redistributes, yeah, fucking buy the fuck out of EUG. Like, again, the distro is going to give you the key. Because if it distributes and then does that, when there's no fucking sellers, this is going to be the spring, and then we're going to be coming higher. So if it reaccums in here, then we sell the fuck out of EUGU. If it redistros in here, buy EUGU. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this. Gold. All right, gold. All right. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay. She just sold off. Didn't want to come up to our 50. Is what it is. But now this is it. This is where your psychology kicks in, because some of you lot will now start getting annoyed, frustrated because you missed the trade. But it is what it is. We just go on to the next one. But yeah, I think I'm keeping an eye on what metals are going to do. Yeah, if gold cracks this low, probably stop shorting and wait for a pullback. Silver is just melting, eh? We'll crack that low yet. Looks like silver's going for these lows. So actually, we can probably keep shorting gold and silver until silver's cracked this low. Once silver's cracked this low, I'm going to stop. As long as silver can keep shorting off, see what gold wants to do. We can play any redistros down. Yeah, we've got New York's open soon. But in terms of like today, I think that's really it's pretty simple. Keep an eye. It's gonna be kind of a bit more patient today. And just waiting for the bigger moves to play out. Does that make sense? Anyone got any questions on what we're looking for? Fortunately, it's not a crazy day where there's like a million opportunities right now. It's just the market, man. Some days, bro, there's sometimes we're on the calls and we're like, bro, fucking take this entry now. Sometimes we're like, bro, we're getting an entry maybe today. Sometimes we're like, spit dry, we got to wait, I mean, I'm going to try to trade today for sure, but I'm not like itching for a position. Like, if we're putting on a spectrum, like there's a trade ready now and like there's no fucking chance in hell it's going to come today, I'd probably put it on like a 60, 70%. We'll probably see an opportunity today. Not at this second. And if I had to, if you had gun to my head, it would be NQ. Yeah, be NQ. Yeah, that's it, bro. You can't get annoyed about missing a trade. The market always provides many opportunities. It's true. Having that abundance mindset, brother. There's always more opportunities. Lead your strat. I mean, so it's not really that difficult, bro. Like, the thing is, bro, like, I mean, the strategy doesn't even fucking matter, bro. Like, I could give you the most, I could take my system, I could make it so advanced, it won't fucking work because people can't follow instructions. People can't backtest it 1,000 times and get 1,000 feedbacks before they do a live account. And some people can, the traders you see getting funded, the ones you see getting payouts, right? They'll follow the process, but 90% of people can't follow the process, and it's just because they're just a little bit I don't know why. Some people are just ignorant, and some people just don't want to be coachable. Like I could literally give you my entire fucking boot camp. I could do 5,000 hours of videos, but unless you're getting feedback on your trades, it doesn't fucking mean shit because everyone thinks that practice makes perfect. So they go to the market, practicing, but they're just reinforcing bad habits. Like, again, this is going to sound so rude, but you're not like, I'm not calling one person out, but like, if you're not profitable, right, you have no idea what a profitable trade looks like, what a valid trade looks like, what an invalid trade looks like. Therefore, you cannot give yourself any advice, right? It's like if someone's fat, you cannot give me any advice on how to lose weight because you are fat. No matter what you know, no matter what you say, none of it is true because you are fat and don't have the results to back it up, right? Cool. So if you don't have, for example, 5 years of payouts behind you, right? That means whatever you're doing now is inefficient. Okay, that's okay. Now this is where you either level up or you fall back. Because the person who falls back, they get offended and they go, oh my God, I feel uncomfortable. I'm not profitable. I'm not good. And I'm a bitch. And I'm going to quit. Second person, they rise to that occasion and say, all right, cool. I know I'm not good right now, but I can get better. So what do I actually need to do to get better? So what they then go and do is they go and literally mark up the charts, they don't even fucking trade. They create case studies. They go on the back test. They find examples where their criteria plays out. Then they send that to someone who's actually profitable and not someone who's had one fucking payout or been profitable for a week and gone try to start their own educational company, because you see that shit all the time. But people who have been doing this for years, like I'm talking not 1 year, not a month, not 6 months, I mean years, right? Then they will look at your charts. They will then show you your blind spots, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. Then you repeat that process 100, 200, 300, 400 times until it gets to the point where you're sending in charts and you're not getting corrected. Like if you're still getting corrected, you're not good yet. I mean, no one's perfect, let's be honest here. But like if you're getting, let's say you're sending 10 charts and 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, you're getting a green light. I think you're good enough at technical analysis at that point to move forward. But that's the problem. People can't withhold that desire. They have the desire to be profitable. They have the desire to win, which is great. But that's not the mindset or skill set that makes you profitable in trading. You've got to be more like in trading, it's the exact opposite skill set to be successful. So the problem is they get bored. They can't backtest something 1,000 times. They're too scared to get feedback. And like, bro, if you're scared of fucking someone saying something to you on the internet, or you're scared of like a bit of text, then that's something you got to address, because your ability to handle discomfort is directly correlated with your income level. If you can't handle discomfort, you're not going to make big bucks. Why do you think fucking Elon Musk is a trillionaire? Do you know how much discomfort that guy deals with and problems? That shit is crazy. But that's why he's compensated. Right? That's why he's compensated with trillions of dollars, because he can handle that much fucking problem. So if you're sitting there wondering why you're not making enough money and not profitable, it's because you can't handle that level of discomfort. Now, some of you might not want to handle discomfort, and that's cool, right? That means this ain't for you, and that's okay. This ain't for everyone. But for those people, and that's the skill you really have to learn here, is how much discomfort can I handle? I'm not talking about fucking ice baths, all that fucking gay shit, right? I'm talking about you're taking a trade, you're getting it wrong. How much time can you spend trying to fix that? Because some of y'all will do it for a week. Some of y'all will get told that your chart is not good or you've done something wrong, and then you get upset about it. And that's the reason why you can't progress. Now, I know it might sound harsh. It might not sound good. Well, why would I want to feel bad? Why would I want to be told I'm doing bad? Because that's how you grow, right? Those painful points is where all of the growth comes from. Because here's now the difference, right? Some people now they'll want to hop off the call. I don't need to hear this. All right, cool. That's why you're still broke. Straight up, right? But there's two types of people. One person, they'll shy away from that and they'll stay in the same cycle. And what's that cycle? They'll make money for a week, get a new strategy, find a new strategy, find a new course, and all of a sudden they found the golden fucking ticket. And it works for a week, works for 2 weeks, and it goes back into the same fucking problem. They're not getting feedback on their shit. So then they'll back test it. It'll work perfectly and back tested because they're cherry picking. And then when they go live, they won't make any money because they never got feedback from someone. So you're like, if you're not making money as a trader, well, obviously there's different skills. We have to discuss all that. But the first thing is, when was the last time you got your charts fed back to you? Like, seriously, when was the last time you had a trade reviewed? Because there's a direct correlation. People who, they might fucking be in the groups for a month. Shit, they might be in a year. And they might be like, Kieran, I'm not making any progress. All right, motherfucker. When was the last time you showed me a chart? I haven't sent a chart yet. Like, you can't be helped at that point, Like, so, like, it sounds so simple. All you got to do, all right, is practice, but then get feedback on your practice. That's it. Because remember, everything you do is building habits. So you practice, you're building bad habits that are gonna fuck up your trading, or you're building good habits you're building good habits that are gonna make you a better trader. So if you're not getting the feedback, how are you gonna know what one you're developing? Oh, but Kieran, the trade won. And y'all think it takes skill to win a trade? Y'all really think it takes skill to win a trade? No, bro, we could literally just go on a fucking paper trading account right now. All right, we could just do this. We could just fucking buy one contract. Fucking thing goes up one tick and we close the trade. Oh, now it's going to drop. It doesn't take any skill to win a fucking trade. As soon as the thing goes into one tick in profit, I can close it. It doesn't take any skill. But what the skill is, how well can you follow the same rule? How well can you follow the same plan? If you can't do that, that's where your issues arise. Anyway, how do I log out of this shit? Right. So, in terms of what we're looking at today, oh, I missed a chat. Should make a candle. All like the government health ministers, they all look like they're one cheeseburger away from a heart attack, telling their country how to be. Exactly, bro. Bro. Facts, right? What are they called? Health stuff. Bro, it's true. Like, look at those motherfuckers. Like, bro, how are you going to talk to me about health? Bro, your chin looks like a and there's not like cussing these people out, right? But you know what I'm saying? You can't teach me how to lose weight. And it's like, and again, some people's ego get in the way of it. But sometimes, you got to bite that bullet. And it might feel uncomfortable short term, but what feels like, my thing is, what feels more uncomfortable? Being told I'm wrong for a minute, 2 minutes, or staying in the same situation for 5 more years. Coming up to the market every day, continuing losing trades, buying more funded accounts, blowing more funded accounts, watching my friends and family level up in life whilst I'm still in the same situation. What's more uncomfortable? Oh, intuition trading? No, that's the real secret there, boys. That's the secret. That's definitely the secret. That's it. You're right, bro. All rewards do have a trade-off. And that's the thing, right? You're not like, you're going to be compensated based on how much, I don't like that word sacrifice, but like, you got to give up to go up. How I look at it, it's like a math equation. If I want, something from the universe, I have to put in to get that. You want 10, you got to do 5 plus 5 or 6 plus 4 or 1. You get it. You got to do some maths. You remember learning how to ride a bike and the amount of times you fell off, but after a certain amount of times you learn how to balance and cycle. Now you can ride with no hands. Exactly. But some people, they fall off and they don't get back up. Right? They cry. And if y'all want to be like, if I'm going to be real, I mean, really raw for a second, like, some people are not supposed to get up. Get it? Some people are supposed to put the fries in the bag. Some people are meant to put the fries in the bag. It's a sad reality, but it's the way the cookie crumbles. To make a man's dream. Well, let's go. NQ on Tuesday. It's about taking long because I wasn't keeping patient. Should I focus on this? I won't say focus on the full thing. During the end of day review, there was a reaccused that provided the entry of the 1 to 7. More volume. And don't worry that you missed it. The most important thing is you made the decision to not trade because you was occupied. I took that trade off of this 50. For me, that was the optimal trade entry of the day. Okay, she comes back. She accums. I mean, I think what's his name? I think Nathan got something on in off that accum. Was it on? Nathan, you still here? If you got something on there, was it you or someone did? Yeah. Where did you get it? Was it on NQ? Or was it ES? NQ. So that yeah, that was oh it failed right. I didn't even see this one. Nah, we'll go through yours, Casper. Don't worry. But you're probably referring to the one that Casper's looking at. So let's see what Nathan. This one, right? So what did you say though? You said so, bro. When your accums don't need cause and effect, bro. If you've come into the POI, right? Like if you've come into the POI and you've got chalk, drives, sweep, break, you don't need cause and effect. The only time you need cause and effect is like let's say after the sign of strength, it comes into a supply zone. Then yes, you need cause and effect. Let's see though. So what do we have? We have good. See, show. Where was your chalk? That's the question. What did you use for your chalk? I did not take this. 15. This one, I guess, because that's 20. One, two, definitely 3, 4, spring. And you got enough of this break? NQ or MNQ? Yeah, what break did you get enough? What was your gold shot, bro? Show me. I guess you played off that. Yes. Oh. I'll get back to Casper. We'll review Casper's one in a sec. Well, I don't think I would have taken that. Honest with you. I mean, the NQ chart's valid, but like I'd be looking at ES. I mean, I know ES is my leader, but where's my strength on this? Yeah, especially with those equal lows there. I don't think I would have taken that. With that liquidity on now, I'd probably would have seen wait for something like that, or just see this do that. I mean, this is the leader; it doesn't have to manip. I would need to see more strength. Anyway, let's see what you got into. So you initially reaccumulate. I prefer to reaccumulate. I think the reaccum is a much better entry in terms of like higher probability. Yeah, definitely at this point. Yeah, you could have 100% gone break even at these points because there's no point. Excuse me, there's nothing for it to come lower. Um, reach the highs in the same session. So I guess the biggest question is what account you trading on. I mean, obviously, if you're on like a top step account and it's distributing to power hour, you could close half of it at that point and just wait for the other half to go there. But if you're doing those sort of like top steps, you got to close the whole thing. I think around like these time. I don't know what time top step closes on your time zone. But maybe around here. I don't know in your time zone. But again, if you're in a day trade where your broker literally has to close you out, then yeah, you just got to close all of it realistically at these points. You can do about it. But like, if you're gonna swing trade it, like your broker allows you to hold it 10 on your chart. Yeah, starting to distribute. Nothing wrong with closing out. Yeah, for me, like the optimal trade entry was here. This is the one that gave move. But yeah, something like that. Again, like if you're closing, if it's getting to a point where you're distributing up here, it's coming close to power hour, and you're up like a 1 to 5, 1 to 4, you just close the whole thing realistically. Like I'm not expecting big moves, an hour before market close at all. Sometimes you can get it, but yeah. Hope that answers your question, bro. If not, let me know. Yeah, cool. Yeah, silver was repeating. Should I check that one? Say gold. Miss out on gold. Let's drop in. Oh, buckle. Oh god. Is what it is. Well, let's play the biggest swing into New York if we can get it. Silver was yesterday. What in here somewhere? $342. What did you play? Hold on. 340. So you and so where was your entry? This filled you, or you got filled? Where did you enter? Where was your? Oh, here. There. There. Why you entered here? All good. Where? So yeah, sure. Silver's selling off, but like, yeah, I don't know. There's nothing to trade here. Yeah, I don't see anything here, man. I mean, you've got a distro, ugly. You're in the middle of a redistro. Yeah, I got nothing to trade here, bro. Yeah, I wouldn't. There's nothing. There's nothing valid here. If it does that, then sure. Yeah, it breaks. Flip that. Flip the whole thing. After 50, maybe the 80 is probably worth it. Nah, he wasn't being stupid at all. There's nothing valid on that chart. Even coming down to devil's advocate, bro. There you go. That's a 1 to 9. So see what it does. Missed. Okay. What is what it is. Well, if there's anything, I'll probably play. I mean, it comes off to reload, but if I was gonna play anything, it would have been that. But yeah, the one you sent, Broski, like when it was here. Oh yeah, no way, bro. I'm not trading anything there. Where do you see bullish momentum? There's no gold is not bullish, bro. Gold bullish? No. Gold. We've been bearish on gold almost pretty much all year. I started warning about gold short. I mean, I was a bit early, but I was warning about gold shorts back here. And we just had the one more expansion. Go back where? Yeah, definitely bearish. So yeah, I'm not trying to buy gold. I mean, at this point, like gold's still in the bearish market cycle. I'm just trying to walk down to these lows here, like 39.50. I'm watching silver, so I'm waiting. Oh, silver just cracked those lows. Now silver just cracked those lows. We could get a small. Well, I'm still bearish on them, but silver could probably come up a bit higher before selling off, which could do the same on gold. Gold could probably come up to like 4,050, maybe a little bit higher. Yeah, I'll try and short it. Oh, different entry. Um, well, it confirms the redistro here. I guess you could have fibbed that up. Yeah, I mean, you'd have got filled on this side. Getting filled here? No, there's nothing there. Getting filled here is fine, but not anywhere in there. Yeah, probably get a pullback on these now. Dollar doing. The dollar could easily redistribute. I just want to be very cautious on dollar though. I check this. Take a look. Holding. 4 hour and daily on gold. I mean, that's just not relevant though. Like for today. I mean, there's no daily demand on gold. The only demand you've got is down at like $2,000 an ounce. You know, but that's not really relevant for today. I mean, maybe one. These are all got. They're old. Yeah, I wouldn't really say there's any demand on gold that's relevant. Silver, there is demand, like $30 an ounce again. Maybe around $30 an ounce. Yeah, this ain't loading. This chart's not loading. Maybe send the screenshots on TradingView. No, why it's not loading. Or maybe try a different link. Yeah, I can't load that. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure yet, broski. New link. We'll definitely do one at Christmas. 100%. In between, I need to confirm. Probably start doing tickets for the Christmas one in like maybe September. Yeah, or October. Yeah, I don't know. This ain't loading. The new one's not loading either. Maybe it's my browser. That was definitely the browser. Let's see. All right. Too bad. Just gonna pass all this stuff. I'm like, I was looking at the charts. All right, let's see what we got here. All right. Yeah, I'll fib this. I'd also, that's your Acume, that's your booth. So I'd also fib that. I mean, I had this fib, but this wasn't like a line in the sand. Um, 50-ish, 80 for sort of reload demand. This the order flow structure. Structure. Yeah, market cycle structure. Yeah, yeah, here you go. Yeah, 100%. Come into demand. You accumulate LPS slash reaccum. You have cause and effect. It's good. It's very good. Yeah, good job. Yeah, very nice. This was yesterday. No, not yesterday. Tuesday after the Zoom call. We did a breakdown right at the start. I think maybe you might have missed it. But yeah, so I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on indices, see if we can try and get another leg up. If they want to melt, I'm gonna cry. Yeah, I'm gonna cry like a baby. Um, Cautious of gold and silver. Like I want to sell them, but the only thing is because silver just cracked that low, we could get a bigger pullback. Where's my Fibski? We could get a deeper pullback on silver, which could drive gold a little bit higher. The silver just cracked those lows. I remember someone asked me earlier. I just remember. I don't know why. I just remembered it about the badge. So obviously, when you're trading futures, there's something called contracts. Like each month, there's something called a new contract that comes out, so the charts can change and the levels can change. So obviously, when you turn it on or turn it off, it's going to affect price action. I normally just leave it off. Like if you, for example, go on like ES, you can see, for example, if I turn it on, ES hasn't cracked all-time highs. Off, it has. I like to have it off. Cry in the shower? Definitely, bro. Definitely. This yesterday? Yeah, definitely caught a falling knife for sure. Yesterday, blue box around like 4, she said. Let's see. So already broke market cycle. That was the maintaining the lowest form of market cycle. ES is distributing. BCARST up thrust. Yeah, so this is distributing. He probably got sucked into the Frankfurt sweep, but we're in a distro. I'd also be concerned, like, why in market open do we sell off? Okay, mitigate, rally, come a pip of shy of the high, and then flop. I would lose faith in that. Massive equal lows. Yeah, I mean you're buying a downtrend. I mean, redistro, king phase A. If anything, do that, do that, do that, do this, do that, and then I'll try and play that. 3 p.m. Oh yeah, yeah. Back here. I mean, yeah, I mean shit, even then, like, right, okay, if this is your potential accumulation, got no strength on it, at the very least. There's no volume on the buy side. I mean, market open, volume tried to come in, but the sellers just smacked it. Huh? Yes, doing. Okay. I see what you was thinking. Okay. Then we go on the NQ chart. So yeah, I mean at this point here, I need to reaccum, Let's say if I'm, actually going to the 5 second. Okay, I got a booth. All right, maybe I got an accum. Oh, I just need to reaccum at this point. And then yeah, goodbye it. You reaccumed. Yeah. At this point. Then what do we do? Do we reaccum? Didn't. Well, last I think is a mini reaccum. Mini reaccum. Yes. It's order flow now. I mean, if I'm looking at ES, right? Distro shakeout at this point, breakout and try to do something like that. You, where even are we? That's the question. Is there even any demand or volume in here to go to a lower time frame? Let's see. Anything, all right, is the lowest form. Okay. The 15-minute close up. All right, so we've got 15 wick. Do we get a 15 engulfing? No. Oh, what was that? What had that 15-minute candle close? Bearish. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's wait for the candlestick to confirm the strength. Yeah, like I mean, if the 15-minute closed up like this, yeah, I'd probably agree with you, bro. Look how the 15-minute candle closes up. We look for. I feel like I'll go for it, but I feel like we definitely did some boot camp videos on this. Check. Did we do that? I think we did. I think we already did. Yeah, we did. We did. It was Day 9. Yeah, so also read the book Candlestick Trading Bible. But like candles are the language of the market, So, you know, when you're playing a bullish market cycle, right? How should okay, so if we're looking at a bullish market, right? Like maybe the 1 minute, it might look like accum, reaccum, reaccum, right? On the higher time frame, it's just going to look sort of like maybe like rally, big bullish candle, maybe a couple dojis, and then big strong bullish candles, right? So when you're playing like reversals and stuff, you got to start looking at how the candles are closing because obviously a bearish candle shows sellers and a bullish candle shows buyers, right? So if I'm coming in here, right, I should be seeing the market drop, base, and rally, right? Like this. That is an accumulation on a lower time frame. Obviously, context, that's not in the zone. Asia lows, right? So that's obviously why that one doesn't play out. But I mean, like that is a bullish candlestick formation. That's what you want to see, like a drop. Okay, wick. What's the wick showing? Price opened, came down. There was a massive rejection in price, and it closed here. So during that 50 minutes, sellers showed up, got rejected, and buyers came in. So, all right, if buyers are coming in and we're seeing the lower time frame accumulation and booth, buyers should be able to sustain bullish price action. We should be able to see bullish candles close. Market comes down, drops, base, 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 bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish. Buyers are coming in, right? So just like here, right? We go back on this day, right? Market sells off, right? Market sells off. We get a doji indecision. The next candle going to be next candle bullish close, right? Well, now we should be good to continue in a rally. Zoom into a lower time frame. What was that? On a lower time frame, we had redistro, Hume, booth. Candlestick closure bullish on the higher time frame, showing you that the buyers can sustain that momentum. They have the power and they're not being pushed away by someone stronger, right? Because when we now go to that 15-minute, look how the 15-minute is closing up, right? Have drop base, and we have another bullish engulfing. So obviously it'd be better if this fucking shit closed all the way like that, but still bullish, still engulfing. Might look at the 30-minute, nice rejection. Even the 30 minutes closing bullish. In this case, let's say the 15, right? So that 15-minute candle closes bullish, drop, base, rally, that's showing you buyers are sustaining. See, as we drop down, well, we already had the analysis on a lower time frame. Redistro, accum, booth comes into the reaccum. Again, if this 15-minute candle now closes as bearish engulfing and prints something like that, the buyers can't sustain. It's too much weakness. Wick isn't bearish. What do you mean? Wick. This? I mean, why is that bearish? Context, right? So, what's the context? Lower time frame. We had model 3. All right. Then buyers could sustain. We had the engulfing. That's enough. Yeah, that's enough. I mean, obviously, sure, it would be nicer if it closed like that, but bullish candle still a bullish candle. We won the battle. Price open here, dipped a little bit lower in that 15-minute, went all the way up, came in, but ultimately, we're closing above the open. We're still bullish. Engulfing just means it engulfs and trades bigger than the previous candle. That engulfs that candle. All right, and then you look in here, between this candle, that candle does not get engulfed by any other candles, apart from this big motherfucker. Yeah. So anyway, when we go back to the yesterday one now, here, And look how those candles are closing up. You're trying to buy an accumulation, right? This is supposed to be an accumulation on a lower time frame, right? How's the higher time frame closing? We'd have no bullish candles. Bearish, bearish body, bearish body. There's no signs of buyers in here. That's why we keep dropping off. You know, go back to this day. It's literally the same lower time frame shit, but see how we had the bearish candle narrative. Sellers are in control. All right, sellers get rejected, buyers come in, but it's still 50-50. Then the buyers come back in. We call that like a morning star. Excuse me. Which, if you look at any of these, I'll just give you a fucking quick nugget. You find any candlestick formation of that, that is a micro accumulation condensed into 3 candlesticks. Like, people talk about order blocks and ICT shit. Like, all that is just a Wyckoff schematic condensed into a few candlesticks. That's why I trade Wyckoff over everything, because Wyckoff is literally where every single other strategy originates from. And obviously Wyckoff has the most detail. And for me, I'm a detailed orientated person. I like details. For me, sell before you buy a candle is not a strategy. Let me look at my accumulation. Let me validate it. Right. But yeah, so understand how candles start to form like this. Like, if you're playing like into a blue box, that's kind of what you want to see, right? Obviously, on a lower time frame, you'd have a redistro. That's your redistro. That's your accum, and then that's your reaccum. When you condense like a 15-second redistro, 15-second accum, 15-second reaccum, that might take an hour to play out. And on the hourly time frame, it's just drop, base, rally. Then on the 15-second, it's redistro, accum, reaccum. So sometimes just zooming out and seeing how those candles are closing gives you a good sign. But yeah. I would say ES was leading, bro. I'm gonna try if we keep getting more strength, I'm gonna try and trade. Yeah, I want to at least break above this. Yeah, maybe we get a sell-off, sweep those lows, and go higher. Do that, and then do that. But yeah, if if ES can start breaking above this, and we can play a pullback and a reaccumulate. Again, I'm not going to play reversals on this stuff. All just reaccumulations. Win, accum, go away. Reaccum, continue. Nice and easy. And walk it up. Does that make sense, what we're going to look for in this? If there's no other questions, I'm going to go call it a day. Next week, I'm flying to America. Well, I got to fly back to UK first and then go America. So I think Tuesday stream should still be good. Unless like, I always book my flights. I always book my flights last minute. So it all just depends on like what's the availability. But Tuesday stream should be good. Thursdays we might have to change. I'll just record a video. Worst comes to worst. But yeah, and I've got to fly the UK, which would take a fucking mission, and from the UK I got to go all the way to America. So I'll keep you updated about next week's streams. Nathan should be still good to do his on Sunday. I know he had a little that kind of thing he had to deal with yesterday. All well on his side, so he should be back on Sunday if I'm not mistaken. And then should be good on Tuesday, and then I'll just have to play it by ear on the Thursday. Oh, bro, I don't know why, man. Maybe I'm impatient, but I can't be the guy who waits fucking a year for a vacation, bro. I mean, don't get me wrong, planning it out is good, and having time to grind all that is great. But like, yeah, every time I go away, I always go like I'll book it a couple of days before or on the same day. But bro, like the other weekend, I was in fucking like Bangkok and Pattaya. We booked that shit on the same day. A friend called me up. He's like, bro, it's the 4th of July. I'm like, Oh shit, what does that mean? He's like, we're American, bro. We just came independent. That we got to celebrate. I'm like, all right. And yeah, we end up flying like 3 hours later. Maybe I like the adrenaline. I don't know. Even that Vietnam vlog, I think I literally booked the flight the day before. Um, to eight. So I normally fly like through India. So normally from Phuket, it's like 3 or 4 hours. Depends on the what where I go. Maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, and then from India. Don't ask me why I do India. Either India or like Saudi Arabia. Depends on like price and the times, what aircraft it is. But yeah, like maybe a couple hours, 3, 4 hours to India, and then maybe 9, 10 hours to London. Um, or if it's Dubai and like Saudi sides, it's normally like 6 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 7 hours, something like that. It depends on where we're going. And I think New York from Heathrow is like 7 hours. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna fly into JFK and then I think I'm driving up to Pennsylvania. Fucking V12 truck, bro. Whipping that shit. As hell. Same day, yeah, same day flights are gonna be fun, bro. For like one time morning and then book the accommodation when I land. Yeah, man. I mean, sometimes the adrenaline's is fun. Sometimes it is really stressful. Yeah. In terms of indices, again, like I don't like. I'm not gonna be super duper aggressive. Be careful of a bigger shakeout for the real move. Maybe we get something similar. Like, be careful of like sometimes if we don't get the continuation at the open, you can always get the lunchtime reversal. So like once you basically come to the end of the blue box, comes to like lunchtime in the US, sometimes you can get that trend reversal coming after the blue box. So normally we'll get like either we'll get like for example, like on Tuesday, sell off continuation, and then the low is set during the session, right? Or sometimes you can get sell off and then the continuation at the end of the session. Depends on the day. Oh yeah, well, baby's crazy. Yeah, definitely having children is gonna be a lot more preparation. Favorite country? Depends for what. It really depends for what, bro. Um, yeah, it really depends for what. But like I would say drugs, Scott. I would say probably Vietnam, bro. For me, Vietnam had the perfect balance of like I want to like you can go like the perfect balance of like nature and all that shit, and then like city and like shopping and all that sort of stuff. Food's crack, and it's pretty good price over there. But yeah, I'd probably say Vietnam's probably one of my favorite ones. Yeah, and the people there are really nice as well. Well, honestly, probably Thailand, bro. That's why I live here. To be honest with you, like for me, Thailand's got that perfect balance. Like you could like you've got like the raw like nature and like the hood, and then you've also got like the really posh, expensive places as well. So like it's the perfect blend. You know, it's also got a little bit of I'm not going to say that. I think you guys can get the drift. All right, a little bit of lace in silver. You know what I mean? Uh, but oh, bro, yeah, fuck me, yeah, they got some hoods out here, bro. Sure, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. Use your imagination. You know, so if someone, you know, they get in trouble and they lace someone's palms with silver. You know, like little thanks, bro. You know, Muay Thai with you? No, bro. You're gonna kick my ass, bro. Get out of here, bro. Fucking beat me up. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. You're gonna kick my ass, bro. This guy. Yeah, maybe, bro. I don't know. So I don't know when I'm. So I'm gonna land in New York and I'm driving up to Pennsylvania, and then I'll be in New York after. See on the itinerary. Potentially, bro. If you know any good gyms in New York, definitely gonna be training. Any traveling things on your bucket list? Mm, honestly, bro. Honestly, like, honestly, bro. Like, as I'm getting older, bro. Like, I'm kind of like getting like it's gonna sound a bit negative, but I'm sort of like losing interest in traveling, bro. You know, like it's fun, but I like just being in routine now, to be honest with you, bro. I like waking up, same time, walking my dog, going to the gym, listening to my audios, getting on my charts, going to doing my work. Like, I like my routines, you know. Um, because I mean, traveling is fun, but like it, it, like again, it's gonna sound again context. Obviously, I've been doing this shit for so fucking long, you know. Like, I was traveling before COVID, bro. You know, I quit my job before COVID, and I was traveling around America then, and like traveling's cool, but like there's pros and cons of it. Like, yes, you meet new people, you have new experiences. Yes, you can meet so many things, but I've got so much from traveling. I've increased my network. I met my wife. And now I'm just sort of focused on bigger goals, really, bro. Like, I'm really trying to grow my YouTube. I want to can keep leveling up our education, what we're doing. I want to keep leveling up my trading. And I mean, traveling's good, but it's distractions. Like traveling countries, tiring. I mean, again, it sounds negative, but like when you're so locked in and doing what you're doing, um, I prefer like just grinding. To be honest with you, bro. To be honest, like yeah. But they say that like traveling days can be drifting days, and I found like when I didn't have as much of a mission that I do now, I would want to travel a lot more. Like I definitely calm my travels down. Yeah, I've definitely calmed them down just because I prefer doing what I'm doing now, bro. I prefer grinding. To be honest with you, don't get me wrong, it's fun, but it gets to a point, bro. Like it's kind of all the same shit. Like once you've been to a few different countries, you realize it's the same shit. All right, you go to a new country. What do? You check in your hotel. All right, bet. How different can the hotels really look? You know what I mean, bro? How different can they really look? And then I bet you go through. You go to your hotel. Then what do? You maybe go get some food. Maybe go to the club. Do a bit of shopping. View a few sites. But yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course you do meet a lot of people. 100% you do. Like for me, bro, like I don't know. I think I'm at a point where like it might sound harsh, but like I don't really care anymore. I just care about my tribe, my group, my family, you guys, and that's it. I don't really care about randoms anymore. But like once you've been traveling up for, bro, I've been doing this shit 8 years traveling now, right? 80% of the people I meet on traveling are fucking broke. Like I don't want like they're people just like it's gonna sound rude, but they're just people who are just on holiday, getting drunk, doing silly shit, only here for a few weeks. It's like I don't want to build a relationship with you and then you're moving in 2 weeks. You know? So like I obviously like having friends of people who live in these places are different. But I think it also just really comes down to where you derive pleasure from and what you've done. Because it's like with anything, bro, the first time you watch a movie, it's really entertaining. Second time you watch it, all right, maybe there's a few things you forgot about it. Third time, fourth time, it's a bit dry. It's the same thing with traveling, bro. Now, again, I'm not saying that to put you off because I recommend everyone should travel. I like going on vacations. I love doing all that shit. But it's not even but, it's just it gets to a point where once you've done it for so long, you you kind of seen it all, bro. Like what like okay, there's only so many beaches, only so many clubs, there's only so many conversations you can have. And it's like, bro, I don't want to have the same fucking conversation with someone. Oh my God, how do you live here? Bro. You know what I mean? Like, motherfucker, I trade. Can you teach me? No, I can't teach you, bro. No, I cannot. Not for fucking free. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, like I would say for me now, I'm at a point with traveling. Like I do it and I still go on places, but I just I'm in love with my routine, bro. I'm in love with what I'm doing at the moment, and me, like I just keeping it simple, working towards my goals, training in the gym, having my diet. Like it just makes life. I don't say easier because I also like discomfort. I like challenging myself. It's nice to be in routine, because like when you travel, it's hard to get your calories in. It's hard to count your food. I mean, it's possible. I'm not making excuses, but it's just one of those things, man. And there you go. You said it best, bro. Have a life you don't need a holiday from. Exactly. Yeah, bro. At this point, when I meet people, if the people ask me what do you do, I just say, bro, I'm in finance. Yeah, I'm like it's boring. You don't want to know about it. I know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've met some people, like, and and they've actually randomly, and then they've even wanted to learn to trade, and they take it seriously. But most people you meet, October 15th. Yeah, I should be, bro. Yeah, I don't see why not. But yeah, bro. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying to put you off on traveling, but it just it gets to a point where you do it for you do it a few times, and it's just like, all right, I prefer just grinding. It's nice to just stay in routine. Like, there's nothing worse, like for because like when I like, obviously when I go back, like for example, well, I'll be real with you. Like when I go back to the UK, bro, my fucking time zone's gonna be fucked up. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna sleep on a plane and all this shit, but bro, it's a 24-hour time difference in New York. Right now, I think it's 9 a.m. or some shit in New York. Fucking 8, 9 p.m. here. I think, James, what time is it for you? Like 9 a.m., right? 10 a.m.? 9:45, yeah. So not, what I mean, not, bro. So like little things like that, it will fucking it'll fuck me up, bro. I mean, I'll deal with it, but like I'm not I'm not gonna feel good, for the first couple of days, and then like obviously your diet can then take a hit. It's harder to train. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's always ways you can do it. Like I like to fly business and sleep on the bed and take a little Xanax and knock out for 12 hours, but it's one of those things that even then when you land, it's like, well, fuck me, bro. What day of the week is it? What country am I in? What time zone I'm in, so for me, like I just like to have a routine, have a life that I really enjoy. And honestly, like the biggest thing I'll sort of tell you, and this is the most cliche thing, and like a lot of you are gonna hate this, but I'm just gonna have to say it because I've experienced it, and it's like you have to be grateful with where you are now and enjoy what you have. And like it sounds so cliche because when I was working my job and I was when I couldn't travel, like people would always tell me, be happy with what you have, right? Rich just means really I create happiness. And I'm just like, yeah, bro, I just want to get out of this job. I just want to fucking start traveling. And like, bro, it got to the point where I was making fucking money. I was traveling. I remember I was sitting in fucking was on a yacht somewhere. I think it was in Florida, right? And I remember I was just like floating off in like the obviously jumped off it, went in the fucking ocean, right? And I was just floating there. I was just like, wait a minute, like I'm not even fucking happy. I'm like, bruv, like, yeah, I'm making money. Yeah, I quit my job. Yeah, I'm fucking traveling around here. But like, am I really happy with myself? Really? And that's when it hit me. It doesn't matter how much you make. It doesn't fucking matter how where you are. It's who you are. Because you can have a shit ton of money, be on a fucking yacht, and still feel depressed. Or you can be sitting in a fucking Indonesian prison, facing 5 years, shitting in a bucket, and have one of the best times of your life. It's not where you are; it's who you are. Now saying that, of course, should you apply that mindset and enjoy and travel and all that shit? Yeah, but the point is, for me, it's now about like taking that pleasure from disciplines and hard work, and it just comes from for me the peace. It's all about peace now, and I like traveling. It's fun, new experiences, but ultimately, yeah, I just like the peace of my routine, training in the gym. Like for me, getting like seeing my body change over 2, 3 months is more fun than fucking a week of partying. Yeah, 100%. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm definitely glad I traveled. 100%. I don't regret it at all. You learn a lot of lessons. You'll learn a lot about yourself. But I think you just go through different stages of life, man. You know, it's just different stages. Fuck me, I sound like an old man at this point. But like, when I was fucking 21, bro, like all I wanted to fucking do was travel. But now I'm getting older. I'm thinking about having kids. Like your priorities start to change. Um, go to Kyrgyzstan now or some shit. Yeah, I mean, I think the next place I'm probably gonna go, like, apart from America, yeah, fuck, I might fuck around and go fucking Palestine or some shit, bro. I don't know, bro. Go to some mad place. Actually, one place I do want to go is Cambodia. I want to shoot a fucking RPG. Right? You can I don't know if this is true, but apparently you can pay to like blow up a cow or blow up a prisoner, which is crazy. Shit is fucked up, bro. Yeah, apparently. I know you can definitely fire an RPG, but apparently you can fire to blow up a cow or even a prisoner, which is wild. And we just set him free. Just set him free. Fucking just turn around, just fucking blow. No, be careful what I say. That's all a movie scene, and none of that is real. Um, Getting framed, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it is, man. But yeah, in terms of markets, kind of dry. The indices doing. All right, so we're getting a bigger nip on these. Question is now, are we going to see a follow through? So let's keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. But yeah, like I don't think I'm sort of being negative about traveling. Like it's a great privilege. It's an amazing thing to do, and I recommend everyone, you know, doing it as much as you can. 100%. You have to be careful because there's a lot of bad shit that no one tells you about either. Like y'all all like everyone look like wants to go to Bali, right? Like Bali is a great place. I'm not gonna lie. But they don't show you what it's really like in Bali. Like you'll see some really aesthetic, beautiful, like photo, and I've done all that fucking years ago, right? You see the beautiful photo, but you don't see the fucking 2 hours of traffic to drive 10 minutes. You don't see all the you don't see all the crime, you don't see all that shit. So I'm not saying like traveling's bad. It's great. Definitely do it. Go on vacations, have things to look forward for, have things to work for. But a lot of the time, it's not like what it looks like on social media. You know, and like even like you might see like again, I'll just be raw with you. Like you might see like having fun in a vlog or some shit. And it looks great, but we're not doing that all the time. That's not like what we actually do on a day-to-day basis. And don't get me wrong, it's fun. We have traveling times, but like we obviously try to be realistic as we can, but every single day is not like that. You know, I'm not, and I think you just gotta have balance. Like for me now, I like to work hard for a period of time, make some sustainable, like tangible results, then fucking party hard or go do something fun. I work hard and I'll party harder. That's what I like to do. I don't like to just go, party, travel, be boring. I like to have that. I don't want to say balance, but like you know what I mean. Try to have a balance. Like work hard for a bit, then pop outside, then go ghost, work hard, then come back out. If that makes sense. Because a lot of the time, like, because it's like sometimes you'll get sucked in, bro. Like, especially when I moved to Bali, bro, I got sucked in, bro. Because you're meeting so many people who are just, and like a lot of the people you meet, you'll be surprised. They're just like actually bombs, bro. Like they got nothing going on with their life, and that's why they always want to go out and always want to meet. You'll be careful because you'll meet a lot of people, bro. When you're on your mission, and they're always trying to pull you into some shit. Yo, bro, it's this guy's birthday. Yo, bro, Thirsty Thursdays, fucking Wasted Wednesdays, blah 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 blah, mad month. There's always something going on, and a lot of the time, I realized that they're only doing all this because they got nothing else to do, unless they're celebrating something, of course. You know, Wasted Wednesdays are crazy, bro. You'd be surprised. Thirsty Thursdays, Taco Tuesdays, these motherfuckers are they're outside, but people find an excuse for everything. But the point is like for me when I can generate more pleasure from just being in my own home, focused on my own tasks, like I don't get the fear of missing out. Like someone's like, "Oh, bro, like what are you doing tonight? We're outside." Well, I'm inside. I've got shit to do. What are you doing? I'm going to the club. Okay, well, I've been there. Like what's new? I think it's also like a. I mean, obviously, everyone's different age groups here. That probably applies more to the younger. But yeah, Focus Fridays. That's what we need. Focus Fridays for sure. At the end of the day, there's no like, bro. There's no manual for life, man. Like everyone's just fucking figuring this shit out. You know, no one's perfect. You know, even me. You know, like, I'm not fucking perfect. I figure this shit out too. We're in the same boat. Some of us might have more experiences. Some of us might have different results. But everyone's just trying to figure this out, bro. There's no perfect way. No shit. Sometimes you need it. Sometimes you need to take a week and just do fuck all. Sometimes you need to go on a binge. Sometimes you need to go travel. Sometimes you need to go and lock in, right? Everyone's going to go through different phases, different seasons. You know, like if you've just got your, like, let's say you just had your first profitable month and you just gone withdrew your first 10K. Oh, fucker, turn the computer off and go spend 3K on a trip. Stop fucking working. Go celebrate some of your wins. Versus, all right, you've been outside, you've been bumming around, you've done fuck all in 2026. All right, motherfucker, cut off all your friends, sell your PlayStation, and grind all year. So it all depends on each person, you know? I'm 27, bro. I think. Born in 99. I think I'm 27. Yeah, I am 27. Okay, though. You tried partying after having kids that did not last long. Oh man, I've got a dog and I can't. It's probably not anything like a kid, but I want to say I can relate. I probably can't. When you get to that I think stage, what do you mean, bro? In the book of Elasticis, it says there's a time and a season for everything. It's true, bro. There is. You know, you everyone goes through different seasons. You go through seasons of reaping, seasons of sowing, seasons of reaping, seasons of working, seasons of enjoying. And you just got to be honest with yourself and know what season you're in. Like, remember the fucking partying, the friends, they're all going to be there, bro. Like, I remember when I lived in the UK, my friendship group from school, fantastic people, but just not anywhere on the shit we're on, right? And it was like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to rephrase that. I felt bad because I was missing the motives, right? Like people was going out, parties, clubs, you know, fucking going, just smoking weed, meeting girls, all this stuff, right? And it was like people that are inviting you to do these things, and like I felt like, you know, it comes like, let's say a Saturday, you know, late at night, you're sitting at home by yourself, you're lonely, everyone's going out, everyone's on, you look on Snapchat, everyone's on at the motive at the function. And it's like I had the fear of missing out. Of course, I wanted to do that, but my vision was bigger than my sight. Oh shit! Let me preach. Let me preach. Right, my vision was bigger than my sight, and a lot of y'all got to understand that your vision has to be bigger than your sight. Your sight's what's in front of you. Your vision's what's coming. And some of y'all, your fucking sight's bigger than your vision. That's why you get sucked into things short term. Like people hit me up today, bro. I'm in Phuket, bro. Let's go out, man. Da, 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 da. No, I'm inside. No, I got shit to do. Why? Because my vision's bigger than my sight. I'm thinking about what I'm doing in the next 6 years and how is going out tonight on a Thursday, on Thirsty Thursday, is going to help me get to that goal. It's not. Maybe if I'm networking with someone or some shit, but I'm not, you know? So a lot of the time, having that bigger vision is what kind of compels you and draws you more to something and repels you from other stuff. So the point is, like, for those who, you know, are at points now where you're seeing your friends going out, or you might even be seeing some of your friends starting to outperform you, start doing better than you. They might get a promotion at their job. They might start making more money. Your boss might even offer you a promotion at your job. And you might turn it down and say, no, I need more time. I need more time to learn trading. I need more time to study. I don't want more responsibility. You feel like you're behind, but you're not. Because the thing is, you got to realize, yeah, that the path of growth you're on is completely different to what everyone else is doing. Most people, you know, their growth, they're going to get a couple dollar raise a year, a couple pound raise a year, and that's it. You're on a path that is fucking slow as fuck at the start. But once that, it's like you are literally, the path you're on is the chart of Bitcoin, right? Like this is what your trading career literally is literally the Bitcoin chart, right? It is, right. It is literally, you're doing fuck all for a few years, and all of a sudden, well, he might go down and seems really scared, and all of a sudden the shit goes para fucking bolic. And it always feels like you're not making any progress, not making any progress. Things are really bad, things are really bad, and boom, things really start kicking in. So the point of what I'm trying to get at is like for those who are, this might not apply to everyone, but for those who are, are sitting, they're grinding, they feel like their friends don't support them, or they feel like they're just not getting where they want, your time is going to come, all right? As long as, and you know in your heart if you're doing enough, if you're doing your DMOs, if you're getting feedback, if you're studying, and what you're really doing. Some of y'all don't. That's a problem, right? But we're not speaking to those. We're speaking to the winners. Don't worry about the outside noise. All right, ignore the people who are doubting you. Ignore yourself when you doubt yourself. Keep feeding your brain. Keep nourishing your brain. You nourish your body every day. Nourish your brain. Feed yourself good information. Cut out people like a cancer, and get around people who are going to inspire you and motivate you to help achieve your goals. Don't worry about the functions. Don't worry about the parties, especially in summer, right? Don't worry about the parties. Don't worry about even the trips. Sometimes that's another thing. Sometimes that's why some of y'all are not getting anywhere because you're trying to celebrate too early. Oh, that's another combo for another day, right? Like sometimes you'll go through a season of sacrifice so that you can have that season of rewards and reaping. But the point is, without being here for fucking 20 hours, the time's coming, And yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot in a sec. But has anyone got any other questions? Has anyone got any other charts they need reviewing or anything? You recommend doing a time log, see where you actually, yeah, bro, exactly. Like when you can actually, bro, like I swear to God, when you actually sit down and you actually plan out your day, hour by hour, minute by minute, you realize there's almost too much time in the fucking day. Like if you don't think there's too much time in the day, you're not planning your days good enough. Oh, Kieran, I work not 12 hours a day. I did too. I did too. You can't tell me that you don't have enough time. There's always time. You have to make time for the things you prioritize. If anyone ever says, "Oh, I don't have time," you ain't got time. It's not no. You ain't got priorities. That's all it comes down to. Because you got time to chill with the boys on the weekend. You got time for the fishing trip. You got time for Netflix. Time for TikTok. Make time. Kieran, I got now. Kieran, I don't have time. I got to wake up and go to work. All right, bet. Whilst you're on the way to work, are you listening to audios? Whilst you're on your lunch break, what are you doing? Everyone has a lunch break. What are you doing on your lunch break? Wake up earlier. Go to bed a bit later. Right? There's always time. Work with what you got. The best advice you've ever received? Honestly, bro, it just has to go down to the laws of the universe, bro. Like literally, to study the laws of the universe. That was it. It's probably this video here, bro. I can't remember if this is the right one. It might not be this one. It really might not. It's a long ass time. But there's this video here, right, by artist, right, called Create and Evolve. And I remember I come across this one, and basically, like what he pretty much mentioned was, okay, obviously you can watch it, is get a pen and paper and start off just writing create and evolve. And then from there, start strategizing, start planning. What schedules can I create to help manifest these goals? How can I evolve my state of mind today? How can I continue to get better on a day-to-day basis? What schedules do I have to create? What routines do I need to create? What things can I create that are going to make me more money? What things can I do with so combining this with also the laws of the universe, for me, was one of the most important things, because when I understood the laws of the universe, it was pretty much like a cheat code to life. Like I don't want to sound like, I'm still learning, bro. I'm not perfect, bro. I don't have everything I want yet. But when I first started discovering these, I was at a point in my life where Like, bro, loads of bad shit was happening to me. I was getting in fights, people putting knives on me, I was getting arrested all the time. I was having arguments, fights, everything, and nothing was going good. And then when I started to find out about the laws of the universe, one of the first ones you should really understand is the law of vibration. No, law of divine oneness. Everything is connected to everything else. What we think, say, do, and believe will have a corresponding effect on others and the universe. So when you go into law of attraction, you know how you create the things, the events, the people, places, circumstances that come into your lives. So I was experiencing all that negative shit because I was in a negative mindset. I was attracting all this negative stuff into my life. But then when I started to switch it to positive things and think about what I want as if it already happened, started to actually study all these laws and start to actually apply them into my life, then good things started to happen. And it was like a snowball effect. And my life started going into an upward spiral and things started getting better. Started meeting new people, started and eventually, managed to quit my job, eventually managed to move out of home, eventually switch countries, and the rest is history. So what the best advice, bro, is probably study these laws of the universe, if I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Um yeah, like this is it. Like this shit here is the most important thing. And I feel like every time in my life, and it even just gives me goosebumps thinking about this shit. Like every time in my life, things don't go with the plan, things that I don't want start happening because I'm not following these laws, or it's been a while since I read up on them. So honestly, bro, like the best fucking advice I ever got was to study the laws of the universe. Straight up. I don't think there's anything else more powerful you can learn from this. Now, this is for general stuff, obviously, like we can go into like real trade and psychology and all that stuff, but combo for another day. Yeah, potentially, bro. I mean, yeah, we could see that on. Yes, I wouldn't call that my line in the sand. I think that you could come a little bit lower. Potentially. Oh, I mean, I'll definitely try and buy out here if we can confirm something, but if it can come into this, it can sweep that. I'll play out of that. What are we doing in here, right? If we can start boofing this could be our little accumulation in here. Break New York high. We can break New York high and maybe come back into here. I'll see what we can get. Little reaccum. And then Q's at least got to start breaking some of this. Yeah. Cool. We'll come back if we can start cracking those highs and see if we can play any little reaccums. Sure. All right, guys, I'm gonna shoot. Nathan should be doing his call on Sunday. Again, I should be good for my call on Tuesday. Thursday's call probably won't be live unless there's. I'll update you. So this needs a break. I mean, reaccum. So I mean, comes in like here, reaccum, and then if you want the extra confirmation, you can play the scanner in there to give you more certainty off the reaccum. I mean, any scanner trade needs to be mitigating a reaccum anyway. Either or, yeah. I'll play the scanner or reaccum, whatever I get first. So if it does this, does that, comes in, the scanner calls me, yeah, I'll buy that bitch. If it doesn't and I can validate a reaccum, I'll still buy that. And obviously, if I get the bot, I can just get maybe a refined entry inside of here. If it wants to show strength. Cool. And we'll keep an eye on currencies, but yeah, I don't know if these are going to do anything today, man, to be honest with you. And gold, I think, is just fucking melting. All right, cool. Anyone needs me, I'll be in the groups. Drop the recording shortly. And yeah, happy trading. Let's see what opportunities we can get. And if we can see any strength on this. All right, take care, boys and girls.